Low milk prices and the resulting increase in financial pressure on dairy farmers have seen rural support agencies reporting a sharp rise in demand for their services and a significant increase in the stress farmers are under. Checkpoint has been told the situation is so bad that farmers, particularly share milkers, are now even approaching food banks for assistance. In February, a Federated Farmers poll found more than 1 in 10 dairy farmers were under pressure from banks over their mortgage. But share milkers who work on farms but don't own them and are often paid in profit share are increasingly under pressure because on many farms at current milk price levels, there aren't profits. Marcia Parini is coordinator of the Taranaki Rural Support Trust. I asked her what sort of approaches she's been having in Taranaki from farmers.
We were getting probably 2 a week in the month of February, but now it's 1 a day, and today I've had 2 calls. And yeah, they cover mental health or stress-related calls where partners or family members, a niece this morning was worried about her uncle and aunt, elderly farmers, so worried about their stress levels with what was going on their farm. About 14% of the calls are to do with finances, and you'll know some of the stories about the bank closing or limiting the overdraft for people that are finding themselves now nowhere to go. No equity either with the stock prices dropping, and so these are mainly share milkers, John, so not farm owners, but share milkers with stock to sell or variable order who are just really feeling the pinch with some of the costs they incur working for the farm owner.
So Marcia, share milkers only get income from the milk. They're not, for example, Fonterra shareholders.
No.
So they are in many situations now not making enough money to even break even?
Correct. Their costs are more than the payout at the moment. And farm owners will be in that situation as well. But yeah, they're all struggling. And so the banks, if they haven't had a really good reputation with their banks or a track record, if you like, then the banks are now saying, no, enough's enough, and we want you to look at your personal budget. And, so we're getting some rural supporters, and I've got about 23 that I've been using throughout the region who live near the farming family that's in trouble to call in them and to support them with good budgeting advice and their experiences of how they got through when they were share milkers.
But actually, these people need money, don't they? I mean, they are really in financial difficulty, are they?
Yeah, having to sell their stock, which breaks their heart. And this is, 5 years of work and hard effort and just going down the drain. And so, they just feel stressed and not a lot that they can do. And where do we go and what do we do? And so some of the budget advisors are saying to me it's usually the 4 big ticket items like fertiliser, wages, feed and supplements that are looked at first because they're big numbers and they're easy to cull, but really it's the smaller things like what phone plan are you on, do you really need a newspaper, what TV plan are you on, there's an internet plan or whatever. There's lots of little things that they can do within the budget to make savings.
Marcia, I was talking to someone in the Wairarapa who's telling me similar stories. Is this becoming more and more common, do you think, throughout the dairy sector?
I do, especially, as I say, for share milkers. And I think it's going to get worse when the checks stop coming at all in the winter months. Then where do they go? And I know there's some smart creative thinking where the wife's going out to work or the husband's going truck driving and the wife does the milking. So they're starting to think like that. There's a lot of goodwill going from farm owners who are sharing the dividend that the Fonterra are paying out or giving them, their share milkers half because they want to keep the share milkers on the farm. Farm owners don't want to go back to milking. They haven't done it for years. So they want to, they're either too old or got a different life now. So they want the share milkers to stay on the farm if they can. And they're bending over backwards in a few cases. Not all, but we're hearing some bad stories as well. But in the main, they're really trying to work together. And we want to keep those communication channels going between farm owners and share milkers so they can all get through.
So in short, you are increasingly hearing from people whose income is nowhere near as great as their outgoings, as their costs, and they are under increasingly great stress and pressure.
And add facial eczema to that, John, and you've got a whole nother ball game of...
Can you tell me about that? What's the facial eczema?
Facial eczema is where spores, because of our climate, we have had really, really hot weather and only a little bit of rain, so that's prime for spores to grow, and the counts are really escalating in parts of Taranaki, and the vets are working their butts off. I heard this morning people are borrowing from the bank to cover those costs they need, because it affects the liver, and they need to get the right product into the cow to restore liver function, and that's molasses, which costs. They need to put supplementary feed out, dry the cows off, which is another cost, cull the cows in a reduced market, and also throw resources at healing the cows. And so there's another cost and a stress, because I never knew until I did this job how much farmers love their animals, and to them this is another stress financially and on a heart level that they're now having to deal with as well. And some of the spore counts, 100,000 is dangerous. We've got spore counts a lot higher than that. So, yeah, all of that's happening as well. So
it's just a perfect storm of awfulness for these people. Have you ever seen it this bad before, Marcia?
I've only been in the job since April, John, but I'm hearing stories from experienced farmers who are saying no, they haven't experienced it like this before.